Hello, my name is Jay and welcome back to my Tech Vault. And today we're going to be taking a look at the MSI b450 Tomahawk motherboard. And this is for an AM4 and it's the b450 chipset obviously. And I want to take today just to unbox this, go over it, check out what it looks like, show you all what's inside this box. But I also have more of a personal connection to this kind of motherboard because the b350 Tomahawk was actually the first motherboard that was in the system back here. I sadly kind of made the mistake of trying to go out and cheap out on this motherboard when I was getting an 1800X. Or actually the 350 model, so I did actually end up upgrading. But that's a different aside, and that's nothing against this motherboard. It's basically just because you want to match the chipset. So I wouldn't recommend getting something high-end on this motherboard if you really want to overclock it like I did. So let's take today to talk about this motherboard, unbox it, and go over it. So starting off, I like the box a lot. Actually comparing it to the last box, this actually is a lot more high quality, which I like that. And of course the whole showcase of everything on the back kind of looks the same from what I remember, and then of course the front of it just looks a little bit more modern. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go unbox this, give you guys a close-up of what's going on as I take this off, and then we'll see where we go from there. So here we are. Basically to start off, you just got a little tab you pop off, and there you go. There's the motherboard inside its anti-static bag. Honestly, first off, I was like, this is like really a lot of deja vu because when I first built my system that I have back here, it was pretty interesting to the motherboard obviously is something unique, and especially when it's kind of really similar to the one I first built. A lot of deja vu, and I mean it's a good thing, not a bad thing. Let's see if I can get this off now. So, there's the motherboard itself. We'll go over drivers and what it comes with in a second. But that's pretty much what you're looking at. Let me see if I can get this off and take this out of the bag. So, I can show you. So, that's the motherboard. Let's see if we can get this out of the bag real quick. See if I can magically get this off the back here. And of course, if you want to see this put in the system, I will be doing that this past Friday I will have done it. This system is actually going to be coming out, or this build with this motherboard is going to be coming out relatively soon. So if it hasn't already come out, I'm also streaming this past Friday. That live stream will be available. So comparing it to what was previously there, I think there's a lot of improvements on this motherboard. First off, it looks a lot better. The motherboard itself, honestly, I like when they do the metal sleeved PCIe slots, and they actually did a good job with that. And I think there's actually plastic wrap that I'm not taking off just yet. I will say that the metal heat sinks on the VRMs actually are a lot more, I guess, covering a lot of the I/O, which I like. And of course, it looks really nice, which I'm really happy. And of course, a lot of the metal heat sinks are really, really cool looking. Obviously, I can give you a full look around of what's actually on here. You've got 3 SATA ports, and then of course you've got the RGB, all the different USB ports, USB, all the 2 right here, and then other 4 SATA cable ports right there. And then you've got multiple fans. You got 1, 2, and actually there's an RGB connector on the top. Yep, we've got an RGB connector up on the top as well, so that's actually a pretty cool thing as well. And then we've got CPU fan, and then that's about it. And then I think another pump. One of those is pump or something. I'm not necessarily too good on there. Looking at from the top, and then basically all these pop off for your RAM. You can start putting your RAM in there and stuff. Honestly, it looks really, really cool, and I'm happy with how it looks. Okay, so here we are. This looks overall, just an overall impression, looks really good. The I/O actually looks surprisingly good as well. The heat sinks are put on quite nicely. That actually lights up if I remember correctly from the past model. And of course you got your video output and input out as well as the audio. Of course this motherboard I wouldn't recommend for someone that's just using an APU. And of course if you want to upgrade then maybe this is an option, but we'll see if we can go from there. Let's check out what else is in the box. I'll put this to the side. So over here we've got, look at what else is inside the box, and we'll take that outside. So obviously if you're using this you should probably be getting USB drivers because you really don't need one of these. And then of course we've got a couple other options, got some information. We get a nice little sticker to put on the system, which actually does look pretty nice as well. I didn't actually get that with the MSI b350 one, so that's nice to see. And then of course you got your manual for the nice b450 Tomahawk, and then of course the I/O actually looks surprisingly well. I'm not going to take it off. You have to watch the video where I built the computer to actually see that. I/O looks pretty good. Nice. I like that they painted that over and it's not just a metal, brushed metal kind of finish. You get 2 SATA cables, and one's a 90-degree 180, and then and a 180 SATA cable. So if you're planning on adding more than 1 drive, of course, or more than 2 drives, then you might want to consider that in the future. So that's going to wrap it up for today's unboxing and kind of overview. Of course, if you want to see this in the system and how it performs and how it stands up, then of course make sure you definitely check out the full build that I'll be doing. That should already be out by the time this video is published. And then of course check out the other unboxings of the other things like the case that I'm getting. And then of course check out the official build final video after the stream. But thank you very much for watching. Check out my channel for other cool tech related things. Did a couple builds in the past with some different hardware configurations for some different purposes. This one's a really nice budget build. Well, not really even budget anymore. This is a really nice build. Coming in right around $900. It's a really, really solid gaming machine. So happy to see how it turns out. And of course, make sure you tune in for that as well. But thank you very much for watching. Goodbye.